Welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. Reba here. Well, you guys, it is mid-afternoon. We got a lot of overcast right now, so I saw some of my figs were drooping, which meant I didn't water last night. And some of them are in those smaller 1-gallon container pots right now, and they are growing vigorously. That means there's a lot of root growth and there's a lot of top growth happening on some of those figs. And well, they were looking a little sad. They were needing a little bit of water, and since it's a nice overcast day and a little bit of warmth but not too crazy, I went ahead and just watered everything really quick. And generally you don't want to water during the middle of the day because it can cause some problems for your plant. Your roots can get cooked and that sort of thing. So I don't normally do this, but because today is overcast, you can see all the gray sky in the background up here. I felt that it was okay with the tiny bit of sun coming through the clouds, that they should be fine. And my little emerald strawberry, that one right there, it was drooped really bad, and it already has perked up in less than a half hour of me giving it some water. And so I just went through the whole garden, gave everything a little bit of a drink, and I didn't water too crazily, but yes, so happy, you guys. And this morning, or this afternoon I guess I should say, I came out here and I was taking a look at this. Now we are homeschooling, so that's why I am a little delayed in coming out to the garden in the mornings. But I came out here and just looking at this, I trimmed off a couple of the parts that were a little bit dead or a little bit crispy, like the end here, and there was one leaf over here that looked a little crispy, so I just trimmed like the end of this leaf here. And I didn't do any trimming on this one, but already, you guys, it's already perking up and already looking so much better. It is loving my backyard already. Now I haven't moved it over to this section right here, which I will be doing. And we're wanting to kind of create like an entrance into the patios area right here. So I'll be putting all the pots away and or getting rid of a whole bunch. I still have to go through the garden shed. I will probably be able to do that tomorrow, hopefully, God willing, and get all of those listed. I've got these containers out here that I got stacked and everything, so I might just post it all for sale for like super duper cheap and just get those all out of here and let them be a blessing to somebody else. So I won't be able to, I could probably use them, but I'm not really too keen on these longer ones. They kind of lose their shape when you put the dirt in them, and I want a thicker container pot, or a raised bed would be ideal. But yes. So anyways, I was just taking a look at these babies today. This doesn't look like it's had much root shock whatsoever. It transferred quite well. Again, I'm leaving this bean tree or bean pod tree. There is a scientific name for it. So if you type in bean tree online, you'll see they get kind of a shaggy bark on them when they get older. And they have these giant leaves that are shaped like this here on it. And for me, it's just for the beauty factor of it. It's kind of unique. It's got these weird bean looking pods hanging off of it like this that are like over a foot long in most cases. And it was just a really nice shade tree, like kind of a lower shade tree. So like you could put a bench under it or like a small little table. So like it's kind of like a natural umbrella. And I just really liked that. And I found it just absolutely beautiful. And plus, it's supposed to have these gorgeous, gorgeous flowers that are huge in the spring. And they are also supposed to smell really, really good. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, this one is, it has the medicinal properties for, like an anesthetic. So, basically, like, I'm guessing that's like, kind of like what they give you when you're going into labor. So it kind of like takes away pain or something. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a doctor. Guys, don't go by anything I'm saying. But I'm not going to be using it for that. So I'll just be using it because it's cool. It's a cool looking tree. But the one I think here that I'm most excited about that I got from my friend is the sumac. And it is so pretty. I love how fuzzy and soft the branch or the stem is right now because it's young, and it's just hairy all the way down. And it does kind of like when you touch it, it kind of like if you rub just a little bit hard but not like too crazy, it kind of like leaves like this it's not really sticky, but it's kind of like you can kind of feel something. I'm thinking that is something that'll keep pests and bugs away from it, and it probably, because I haven't seen any bugs buzzing around this at all. So I'm thinking that is some sort of protective mechanism built into this sumac, staghorn tree bush. You can grow it. It grows kind of like a bush, like a small tree, so you can shape it to look like a small tree. But now I'm just so excited for this. My friend was telling me that it's a really, really healthy drink. I know the Native Americans would use it to drink, so that's really exciting. And I am so looking forward to the day when all of my babies, all of my fruit and nut and berries and all of my baby plants go into the ground, and all my beautiful plants like the wisteria that I got from my friend, and I think that's wisteria. Yeah. I just cannot wait for all the flowers and all the beautiful things to look at and all the beautiful things to eat and just all the beautifulness of this diverse everything. I just cannot wait for us to get our home and our property, and God's got a plan. I know that for sure, and we're just waiting on him and the timing. So yes, I am so ready to not be paying rent to somebody else anymore and to actually be paying the government probably for a piece of property that we'll still have to pay for with taxes. But you know what it is. But it would be nice to have a little piece of this world that we can call our own here while we're here. And so I'm just thankful and grateful, and I just cannot wait to try all the good things and plant all the good things, because there's a few more plants I want to get. I don't think I'll ever stop wanting more plants, but I do want to have a sense of organization to it when I do it. So yeah, the plan is with the figs, you guys. The plan is that I will be growing them, and I'll be able to take cuttings from them and sell cuttings from my fig varieties that I have. And so I do want to make sure that the ones that I'm selling are... All right, my phone ran out of space. So anyways, I don't know where I was. But anyways, I do want to make sure that the fig varieties that I'm growing true to variety. Now, I do know that my Robert's Golden Rainbow was directly from Robert, so I know that those ones, for in fact, are true to variety. There's a couple other ones that have fruited that I've been able to identify and to be able to know for sure that these are those varieties. There's a few sellers that I've bought from that I know for a fact that those items are true to variety as well. And so some of those people have like the rights to be selling certain ones, and so I don't know about like, and when I say this, it's like the Rodgrod and the Gambino and all these different ones that Sacred Origin out of Redding, California has identified. And I know she does a lot of sales on her own, and I know she's partnered with another guy that sells on FigBid, and I see in his listings that he's the only one that's been authorized to sell figs that she has come across. So they're kind of partnered together, and I don't know if that is based by what he's saying, if, I have like extras from the cuttings that I purchased from him or her, if I'm able to sell those cuttings or sell those plants online. So I'm not quite sure about how that works, because it sounds like they kind of have a little thing going on with each other, and I don't want to step on any toes. So those ones I think I may just end up selling locally and or trading with other people in the fig community with the extras that I have of those, rather than selling them. And so those ones I know I have true to variety. But as far as, I will be waiting, let's just say that I will be waiting to see if other sellers start selling cuttings of those particular ones. And at which point, if that starts happening, then I will be offering those varieties, off of my own website or on my Etsy that I have set up. Now, I know my channel's Gooseberry Homestead, but I do have an Etsy account called Lilla Dolce. And it means sweet lilac, and in Italian. And so my sister-in-law is from Sicily, and I love Europe. And so when I was naming my business years ago for making my crochet patterns, I called it Sweet Lilac. I wanted something that would be kind of universal, like I could basically sell almost anything on that. So it is kind of plant-esque. And I know my channel's called Gooseberry Homestead. If you guys have not watched my past videos about why my channel's called Gooseberry Homestead, and you see all these other plants, but you don't see all my gooseberries that I have, I do plan on getting a collection of gooseberries, but they're really thorny, and I don't want to move with a ton of thorny plants. So I'm waiting to get all of my gooseberry plants later. And so yeah, I'm just gonna get those later. But the reason why my channel is called Gooseberry Homestead is because when I made one of my very first YouTube videos, it was me asking about a gooseberry plant that I had. And I didn't know, because at the store that I bought it at, it just said gooseberry, and it didn't say anything else. There was no variety, no nothing like that. It did end up being a dessert gooseberry, and it turned this really beautiful burgundy color. Now I never had any aphids on it, never had any pests try to bother it at all while I had it for the 2 years that I had it. And it was such an awesome gooseberry, and the skin was very pleasant. It wasn't like a astringent, and it wasn't sour. It was very easy to eat, and it wasn't like tough, or some gooseberries kind of have like a tough feeling to the skin around it. This one was very easy to eat. It was definitely like you could slice it, put it in a fruit salad, and it was kind of like a grape in that sense, a thinned walled grape. I'm not sure if I'm describing it correctly, but yes. So that's the reason why my channel was named Gooseberry Homestead. So then I have my Lilla Dolce, where I sell crochet patterns that I've created, and sometimes I have miscellaneous other things for sale up on my Etsy account, things that I've collected over the years that I am selling off from my home or what have you. And so there's that. So anyways, you guys, everything is doing good in the garden. It's a little bit of a background on why my channel's called that, and why in the future you may see my channel branch out in a different way. I am wanting to do kind of some homesteading eventually. That's why I am practicing my homesteading skills here while I'm renting, albeit in container pots, but that's the way it is. And every time I dig in this ground here, I just find garbage. And I'm not joking, like plastic bags, tags from bags of bread, all kinds of things, knives, metal, who knows. There's so much junk and trash in this dirt in this yard. I think the people who lived here before buried their garbage in the backyard. I'm not even kidding. So I don't like to really dig down, and that's the reason why most of my stuff's also in pots. So people who come here and be like, well, your stuff is all in pots, blah, and they leave their rude comments and all that good stuff. Yes. I don't really get bothered by it because they don't know my situation. So yes, I don't want to bury all of my babies in trash. So I will be growing them in the container pots. Now I have put some things into the ground, like some of the roses along here now, and I've got cuttings from them that I am trying to root. Where are they? I think it's right over here. I've got cuttings here, and some of them are growing and showing signs of life. And what I did was I cut them all back, and then I pulled all of the leaves off, and now these are the new parts growing here and here and then here. So you can kind of see, so a touch of class. I definitely got some that are rooting in there and producing new leaves. And when you start seeing new leaves coming on, that means most likely you got roots down below. Also in this container, I have a bunch of golden purslane growing, and it's supposed to be really good for you. And that one is growing really good. I want to pull one out and taste it. Kind of like a really watery salad taste. So good. It's supposed to be really full of omega acids and vitamin A, I think, and E. And there's just so many good things about it. And I also have some mullein seeds down in there too somewhere. So those may be coming up as well. But I just sprinkled them in there just because, just to see. And I am so excited, you guys. So, and then I'm thinking about putting some grapevines starting some grapevines off of my other ones over here and putting them into 1-gallon containers and putting them up along the fence line here, and then just letting them take hold. And when we get ready to move, I can just cut them off the fence and take them like that. And that way I'll have these bigger ones too. And or I could sell the bigger plants, and then I'll have cuttings and babies off of those in smaller containers that'll be a lot easier to move with. But I could leave the grapevines that I root in the containers, in the 1-gallon container pots. I can leave them in place, and they can set roots down into the ground from the bottom of the container pots and tap into the ground without me actually burying them in the soil. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then I can just pull them out when we get ready to leave and just trim off those roots from the bottom of the pot. I don't mind doing that and just leaving them along the fence, and it'll create this nice privacy kind of thing. And then when we get ready to leave, just cut them off of the fence line. So I'm thinking about doing that on this side too, just in this one section right here, maybe up to this section even. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then that way I can kind of create a little bit more privacy and have something that's going to grow on the fence line a little bit, but also not really, it won't really bother the integrity of the fence line. It might actually strengthen it a little bit. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, you guys. And so anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get ready for work, and I love you all. Comment, like, and subscribe. Click that bell button. And as always, have a wonderful day, night, whatever time you're watching this. Make it a wonderful one, and love what you grow and grow what you love, and God bless you all. Bye.